This seminar is on some of the heroes of the 1920s. There's no way I can cover all of them, so I'm going to cover some of them. This is a very young Babe Ruth. He originally started out with the Boston Red Sox, and then he was sold by the owner of the Boston Red Sox to the New York Yankees. Why did he sell Babe Ruth? Because he wanted money to put on a play. He was much more into plays and theater than being the owner of the Red Sox. And ironically enough, Babe Ruth, known for being a great home run hitter and a great baseball player, started his career as being a great pitcher. But they found out he was more valuable batting every day than pitching every fifth day. This is Charles Lindbergh, Lucky Lindy, first person to solo fly across the Atlantic Ocean. He landed in Paris. It was a pretty arduous flight. He said there was numerous times he felt like he was going to fall asleep, and there was times that he reported that he dipped so low that his plane was 10 feet away from the waves crossing the Atlantic. He also had to reroute because he ran into an ice storm and was afraid that it was going to freeze up his engine. But he famously flew across the Atlantic, became an instant celebrity, and then shortly thereafter, him and his wife, their child, was kidnapped, and there was this ransom note. It was the kind of the trial of the century, the crime of the century. His child was never recovered, and all reports are the kidnapper killed the young child. Lindbergh later in his life is kind of shunned in America because he agreed with a lot of the things Adolf Hitler and the Nazis said leading up to World War II. But when the war broke out, he wholeheartedly sided with America. This is Gertrude Ederle. She is the first woman to successfully swim across the English Channel. Even if you go from England to Calais, the shortest distance, it's something like 18 miles. And she swam it. Other men had swum it, but she was the first woman to do it, so she was pretty famous for that. This is Amelia Earhart, number one female aviator, not only in America but in the world, had numerous records, aviation records. It was trying to fly around the world when her plane disappeared somewhere in the Pacific, and there have been all kinds of conspiracy theories thereafter. This is Jack Dempsey, famous heavyweight boxing champion in the 1920s. This is back when boxing was extremely popular in America. Jesse Owens, famous track star, gets a lot of publicity for beating Hitler's master race in the Olympics in the 1930s. This is Red Grange, famous college football star, and actually helped get the NFL going. When the NFL started, it was kind of thought it might collapse because people were more into college football instead of pro football. And the NFL lured him out of college early by paying him, I think it was $5,000, but the big thing was a percentage of how much ticket sales they got. And he did this barnstorming tour around the United States, and he ended up making like $100,000 in just 3 months, which is like millions of dollars today. But he helped put the NFL on the map. We got Helen Willis Moody, 31 Grand Slam wins in tennis. And a Grand Slam are the big tournaments. She was number one in the world. She was by far and away the best tennis player of the 1920s. She would be like one of the Williams sisters today. So she was definitely the best tennis player of the 1920s. There are more. You could say, musicians, Count Basie, actors and actresses, like Charlie Chaplin could all be heroes of the 1920s. But this is just some of them. There's obviously a lot more.